Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? Hope you guys are having a happy 4th. I hope you're spending time with your family. I decided to do a quick live. I don't expect to have a large crowd today. We just want to give you guys something to work with while you're enjoying your holiday before the barbecues start burning and everybody get out there and do their thing and connect with family, which is what you should be doing. People like myself, we have to work. So I have to work tonight. It's going to be a long night. There's always something that happens on the 4th of July. I'm sorry to say it, but with the festivities and the people catching up with their loved ones, always usually accompanies violence and unruliness. So it is what it is. That's the reality, human nature. I'll be out there working my butt off, trying to make sure people are safe, but I don't have to report until later on in the evening. So I decided, let me come and give a show to whoever's willing to watch. What I want to do is, first of all, I haven't forgot about the part 2 of the detective interview with Stephen Stearns. We're definitely going to do the part 2. We could probably get to that on the weekend. But I want to jump in and analyze this conversation that the deputy who's transporting Stephen Stearns to court, etc., had with Stephen. Now, I got to be honest with you, with all transparency, I have not watched this before. Okay? I have not watched it. All right, so this will be a raw, in the moment reaction and analyzing of this conversation. So I don't know if much is that is probative is said. I don't know if he says anything that's interesting or not. I don't. We're gonna discover this together. And if some of you have seen this footage before, then well, you're ahead of the curve. You know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. We're gonna discover this together. What I will say is I got this footage from the docket. Okay, like once again, as I said, there are a lot of true crime YouTubers who are really good at getting this footage, and they also have the capital. They have nice big channels. They're bringing in good revenue. Good for them. God bless them, and they can afford to pay the absorbent fees that these police departments and government agencies charge for you to get footage. You can't just send a FOIA request to a police agency, especially for a high-profile case, and just get the footage. They're going to charge you big money. Strategic does not have that money, so I cannot get that footage for myself. So I'm relying upon the true crime community to share this info, to be generous and allow other people to react to their information. So do me a favor. Please go to the docket's channel. Go to the docket's channel. We're going to do that right now. So this is the docket. And do what I'm about to do right now. Subscribe to their channel. And I've heard a lot of good things about the docket. So I'd also suggest that you hit this down arrow right next to the subscribe button and you click all so that you're notified whenever the docket drops something. So I'm going to do that. I've just done that. And I hope that you guys do that as well. And then the last thing I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to go right next to that subscribe button, maybe 5 inches away on your screen, and hit that thumbs up button. And now we've showed the docket love for the hard work that they put into getting this video. And I'm going to encourage you to go to their website and view it for yourself so that they can be compensated through the YouTube Partner Program for their hard work. That being said, I'm going to actually do the same thing for me too, for my channel, so that the channel can grow. So that being said, guys, let's start this impromptu reaction to this conversation that's going to happen. I have no idea about it, never seen it before, between Stephen Stearns and a deputy who's going to be driving him to court. Let's jump into it.
I missed her wings.
All right, so that's not Stephen Stearns. That's the docket right there. Let's fast forward a little bit.
Can you feel that? Okay.
All right, so right off the gate, I'm going to tell you right now what my feeling is just from that little interaction. Can you feel that? I'm turning on the AC or whatever. Right off the gate, I get the feeling, and in all transparency, I do have to say this because I like to be very honest with my audience. This is where I stopped because I wanted to cut out all of the docket's channel stuff. I didn't want to just jack his content of him talking to his subscribers. So I stopped right here. So I have seen up to right here, which is when the deputy comes in and the deputy says, hey, I want to make it warm for you. I'm turning on the AC or whatever. And then he says, can you feel that? And this is where I stopped now. So I haven't seen anything further other than this. And what I'm getting from this right now is I know somebody told this deputy, you go in there, be nice to him, and see if he makes a spontaneous utterance. I know in the Fed system, they like to call excited utterance. Usually excited utterances is when people are jacked up on emotion and the heat of the passion of something, and they say something like you arrive on the scene, the murder scene, and the guy is standing there with the knife, and he says, I killed her because she cheated on me. That's like an excited utterance, right? Spontaneous utterance is more like you're relaxed, you're chilling, and you just start talking about the case for no reason. That's a spontaneous utterance. So I know somebody told him, get in there, treat him good. Don't ask him about the case, because if you ask him about the case, that will be inadmissible in court, because at this time, he has an attorney. He's been arraigned, I believe, at this point. So he has an attorney, so you cannot initiate conversation with him, because that would be unconstitutional. It would not be admissible in court. It would be the fruit of a forbidden tree. That's what they call it in legalese, right? But that does not stop somebody from making statements on their own, from making spontaneous utterances. And how you do that? You treat the person nice. You get them feeling good. You get them feeling comfortable. You make them feel like a human being, even though everybody in the world is calling them a monster. Everybody in the jail is talking about how they want to cut their throats. Everybody in court is calling them a monster. The relatives of Maddie's in there giving them the death stare. You come in as a deputy, they're expecting you to be mean. They're expecting you to be an a-hole to them. And you're like, hey, buddy, how you doing today? I'm going to make this warm for you. I'm going to turn on this AC. Somebody told this deputy to do this. He did not do it on his own, because Stephen Stearns is a monster. You're not going to waste your time being nice to a monster. Guarantee you, he was instructed to do this. Let's keep going.
And we did pay for this, so I do have to put a watermark on it.
All right, so real quick, I just heard the docket say that he's putting a watermark marker on the video because he paid for it. So what I want to do is, because I have it cropped in a little bit, I want to uncrop this and make sure that the docket is getting his due. I want his logo to show in this video. So I'm going to go ahead and just recenter this, and let's get the dockets. Let's get his watermark in there. He deserves it because he paid for it, and I'm getting his footage. So I want to listen. I'm fair. I don't like not giving people credit for their work. So here we go. The docket is up here in the corner. Once again, go to his channel and support him. All right, so let's keep going.
Hi, Kaylin, the aggressive progressive. Good to see you back. Ain't seen you or heard from you in a minute. Now, I am going to talk over this cop's badge number when he says it. I mean, they didn't redact his name or nothing. Everything is, you know.
And his badge number is public information, so it doesn't really make any sense to talk over it. But it is what it is. The docket can do whatever he wants. I would like to fast forward. And I gotta tell you guys, I tried to find a clean body-worn camera footage where we can just react to us without additional commentary from the person who uploaded it. But it's, once again, this is paid material, so it's impossible to find on the internet for free. You know, people are just holding on to it because they paid for it. Nothing wrong with that. Totally understandable.
The jail. But that will be the only thing that I talk over. I just don't want to give his badge number out.
I mean, it definitely doesn't matter. We got the, I mean, no disrespect to the docket. I'm not disrespecting you in any way, buddy. I appreciate the hard work you do. But, you know, I'm a common sense kind of guy. His name is Jay Cabrera. You know, we know his name. You know, his badge number is not his social security number. Like, his name is Jay Cabrera. How does protecting his badge number in some way give him anonymity? Just seems a little funny to me. I'm sorry. No disrespect to the docket. I just think it's really funny for him to kind of center in on the badge number when we can clearly see who he is, where he works for, and the region that he lives in. But let's keep going. I do respect the fact that the docket cares about this officer and this officer's anonymity. So big shout out to him for that. But, you know, in this situation, it doesn't really make any sense. And please hit that like button, guys. Support the channel. Hit the like button. Let's keep going.
Because he's in a Sally.
ALT leaving the jail now. Probably less, sir, because we're taking the turnpike down to 192. So we're taking I-4 to the turnpike. So I did, sir. I texted him. Yes, sir, he did. Thank you, sir. Bye.
All right, so Aki said there's channels with the raw footage, so find it for me, please, Aki, and we'll just switch over. It's all good. I have no problem switch over. And Aki's pissed off that I didn't tell her I was going live. It's just an impromptu thing, man. I'm an impulsive guy. I'm sorry. Jeez. Big shout out to Lisa Michelle with a $10 super chat. Says, I love your channel. I appreciate you, Lisa Michelle. Thank you for supporting the channel. You are amazing. I want to go ahead and like this. I don't know. Like, I'm not really getting much ability to, like, oh man, you know what, let me see if I can log into another screen so I can actually go ahead and pin your comment and show love or whatever. But thank you so much, Lisa Michelle. Thank you for the $10 super chat. And please, Aki or anybody else, if you can find a clean video without any commentary, I would appreciate it, and I'll definitely switch over to that video. We'll start watching it. Let's keep going. Is speeding, man. You never want to speed when you have somebody in the back seat unless it's an emergency. I mean, I could just hear that engine rumming. Like, I get it. But you always want to make sure that you're traveling at a decent, safe speed when you're transporting a prisoner, because if you get in an accident, it doesn't matter if they have a seatbelt on, they're finished because they don't have their hands to brace themselves in that accident. And I know we all don't care about Stephen Stearns. He's the biggest monster on the planet, and our goal as a society is for him to die. Pretty much. That's just the fact. We want him to die, capital punishment. But we want him to stay alive long enough with his faculties for him to go through a trial, see what he did, the gravity of what he did, and then face our judgment and wrath as a society and be sentenced to death. We want him in good health, good physical condition, well-fed. We want this man well-clothed to bring him before a jury and have him found guilty, and allow that family to read their victim impact statements and tell him how much they hate him and how much his actions have impacted their life. And then we want to sentence him to death, and then we want to see him be put to death. So in the meantime, we need this man nice and safe, guys. That's what we need. Let's keep going.
How's the temperature feel?
Better than it was.
Okay.
Thank you.
Now, this is kind of rude, right? Like, he's definitely a rookie at this. He's probably not a rookie at the job, but you can see, like, how's it feeling? Everything good? Like, he's really, you know, he's really trying to, like, build that rapport. And this is cool. I've never seen this before. He's doing a decent job. Lisa Michelle says, I'm surprised by how many legal experts have not looked at it from your perspective. That is, this officer knows exactly what he's doing when he engages him like this, because most of them weren't cops or weren't detectives, you know, and even if you are a detective and you're retired, that doesn't mean you was a good one. Even if you was a supervisor, you retired, doesn't mean you were a very knowledgeable one. Like, when you look at these YouTube, you know, personalities, you really don't know what their pedigree is and what they're bringing to the table. There's a lot of new people to this channel. The people who have been here for a while, they know I've been doing sex crimes investigations for almost 18 years. All right. So I have 18 years of service in total, and keep going, and I'm still going. But for most of that 18 years, I've been a sex crimes investigator. I've been doing this. I've been investigating these same type of cases, minus the murder part. Homicide would investigate when it comes to the murder. But if the victim lived, I would be on this case if I was in that municipality, right? This would be assigned to me. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I know what happens behind the scenes. That's why sometimes when I tell you guys what's going on, I'm very mindful of what I say, because I don't want to give any insight to the bad guys. I don't want them to use my channel to become knowledgeable of how we operate, all right? But I know how this goes down because I've been doing this for most of my adult life. Let's keep going.
You're welcome. Don't know why they don't do that. Why don't they just kind of like at least give you a blanket,
My core temperature was down. By the time they took it, it was like a degree or two lower than it should have been.
Wow.
Couldn't regulate. Sleeping on bare metal. The first night I was on a concrete floor with a roll of toilet paper for a pillow. Nothing else.
All right, so now we have Stephen Sturms complaining. I know it's kind of hard to hear, and Aki sent me Plunder's video, but it doesn't look like the docket is talking anymore. So we'll just keep going with the docket. If he starts talking, then we'll switch over to Plunder, which is a great channel. I love her channel. Love her calm melatonin voice that she has. She sounds like a mother who's like telling you crazy stories about true crime. But anyway, he's complaining about his conditions in a county jail, and he's lying. Nobody's making him sleep on a concrete bed with no mattress. That's not even allowed. That's against federal and national standards. You have to have some form of padding in any jail cell that you're in. All right. Holding cells, you don't need padding, because holding cells, they expect you to sit, wait to be processed, and then transported to the next place. But if you're in a county jail where you're going to be spending the night, you have to have some type of padding. So what is he doing? The victim card. This is a big thing for Stephen Sturms. He likes to be a victim, ladies and gentlemen. This is his MO. This is how he weasels his way into people's lives. This is how he weaseled his way into Jen Soto's life. Jen, you've got ADHD, and you've got PTSD, and you've got everything on the alphabet spectrum, and your daughter's got everything on the alphabet spectrum. And guess what? I do too. Aren't we a great couple? Let's be a family so I can molest your family, molest your daughter. That's the type of guy he is. He likes to get sympathy from people. He likes to portray himself as a victim. He likes to portray himself, ladies and gentlemen, as harmless. He's a predator. Harmless. Like a big cat. Creeping in the bush. Slow. Sometimes they'll stop mid-paw before their paw even touches the ground. It stops there because you looked at them. I'm not a threat to you. I'm not coming up behind you. I'm not stalking you like prey. He is a predator. And one of his tells and one of his signs and one of his tricks, however you want to say it, is to pretend like he's harmless. So he's in the back seat. He's over here telling his deputy about how terrible his experience has been so far in the county jail. Pity me. Woe is me. Let's keep going.
Begging for a blanket or a pad to sleep on for like 2 days. I think they were supposed to do stuff like that.
Oof. That sounds rough, man.
Yo, this guy is acting. You know he does not give a damn about Stephen Sturms. Keep going. I like this guy. I love this guy's effort. I love what he's trying to do. God bless him, because what he's trying to do is help that criminal case. He wants Stephen Sturms to say something incriminating. Man, I appreciate this. This is good stuff. Let's keep going.
Oh, he gets nicer. like I said, you know, Stephen said his core temperature was down. Yeah. What about her core temperature when you buried her out in the woods, asshole?
All right, so yeah, I might have to switch over to Plunder. No disrespect to our friend here. I'm gonna bring this back to me, guys. We'll start exactly where we left off. We won't miss a beat. The issue is that I can't deal with the cursing, you know, for the algorithm purposes. I don't want to have cursing on the channel. And the docket, he's passionate just like me, and he's shocked and he's pissed off with this dude. And I get it, on his channel, he can express it that way. But, you know, we're trying to rebrand ourselves, and we're trying to stay away from being on the bad side of the algorithm, because that happened for a long time, okay? For a long time, YouTube had me in jail because they didn't like my raw and my passionate side. And so now it's about showing that balance. And so I'm going to have to switch over to Plunder. I love her show, and she does not use bad words. And believe me, I use bad words too, but if I'm going to use a bad, I want to be the one using the bad word. I don't want to, you know, have to deal with somebody else using a bad word and then me take some repercussions for it. So give me 2 seconds. I'm pulling it up right now. I just emailed it to myself. Go ahead. I'm pulling it up, and then we can rock and roll. There we go. See,
don't know why they don't do that. You know, I don't.
Your 2 seconds paid off. Plunder's here is doing her thing. All right, let's go over here. Just bring me back. I love Plunder. What a great show she has. Please subscribe. You know what? Let me do my spiel for Plunder before we get started again. Lisa Michelle's now a New Jack member. And where I get that name New Jack, when I started I was in law enforcement prior to corrections. I was like a peace officer and like a glorified security guard with arrest powers that you rarely ever used. But then when I went to corrections before coming to policing has been my last stop in law enforcement so far. I thought about the feds, but then I got too old, right? I'm old now, so I can't go to the feds. But in New York State corrections, you're called a New Jack. That's what you're called when you're a baby CO, a recruit CO, correction officer in New York State corrections. So that name New Jack comes from when I was a correction officer. That's what they call you. Yo, New Jack, come here. Inmates call you that. Staff call you that. Whatever. Yo, New Jack. You're a New Jack until you earn your stripes in New York State corrections. So thanks for becoming a New Jack member. Lisa Michelle, appreciate you for supporting the channel. Before we get started, though, on continuing this, I'm already subscribed to Plunder. Told you I love her channel. What I do need to do is change this, and let me scroll up so you guys can see. You guys can see. Oh, sorry. So what I do need to do is change my subscription over here to all. I didn't do that before. So I just set it to all, and I'm going to go ahead and like her video because she's awesome, and I want you to do the same thing for me. So Plunder is amazing, and you're going to say thank you to Strategic for introducing me to the Plunder show. She's an amazing true crimer, and she gets all the goods. She gets all the goods, right? But make sure you subscribe to her and you hit that like button, and make sure you're doing that for my show as well. Make sure you hit the like button. We got a lot of people watching the stream right now, but we only have half of them who've hit the like button, and that breaks my feelings. It really does. It hurts my feelings, rather. So please do better, people. Do better. Don't hurt Strategic, all right? Let's keep going. I'm streaming on 4th of July, guys. Come on. Show some love. This is the birth of our country. God damn it. Anyway, let's keep going.
Please forgive my cough. I've been trying to get rid of it for the past like 2 or 3 days, and prior to that, I had a really bad cold, and
Yo, he just threw that paper in the corner.
Ricola honeys, the honey Ricolas do really well to smooth out your throat.
you know, I like those, man. But have you ever tried the berry ones? The Ricola berry?
No.
Phenomenal. The Ricola berry ones, they almost taste like candy.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with them because the honey ones are the same way.
But once you get to the middle part, it's rough though, because like it's got a punch. You're talking about the ones that have like it's like a gooey menthol inside of it.
The solid ones that are just the honey.
So you haven't had the ones that have like the gooey part on the inside? Those are good until you bite into it and you're like, whoa, like it's a burst of like menthol. Yeah, it is. It is.
You know, also when you're on this kind of ride right here where you're trying to get the guy to talk, if they're not familiar with the community, you might want to take the long route. And you also don't want to drive too fast. It doesn't look like he's driving too fast because cars are kind of going around him. But you want to take your time so you have a lot of time with the guy, but you don't want to make it seem obvious that you're taking too long for the trip, right? So it's kind of like that balance. I like what he's doing. He's talking to him about small talk. He's talking to him about his cough. There's really good segue between the cough to go into the cough drops and stuff like that. The goal is to keep the guy talking. That's the goal, right? Because you're in a very delicate position because you can't come out and say, hey, you know, did you really do that, man? Like, you know, did you know, they're saying on the news that you did all this crazy stuff to this kid. Like, did you really do that? You can't really do that because now you're asking him accusatory questions and he's got an attorney. You're not supposed to talk to him. You're not supposed to interrogate him. But a lot of people don't understand that you can still talk to a person who has an attorney, right? You can also talk to a person before reading a Miranda. You could talk to your subject before reading a Miranda. You know, they call it post and pre-Miranda statements, all right? But you're limited in what you can do and what you can ask. So when I get a guy in a box, and the box is an interrogation room, that's our slang for interrogation room, right? I'm going to tell them my style. I'm going to tell them, first of all, before we even get into the box, I'm going to tell them, hey, listen, I want to talk to you. But if you want to talk to me, we're going to have to go into our interview room and I'm gonna have to read you your rights. Sometimes I say, sometimes we'll just bring them straight there. It depends, you know, it's hard to lay it down on one thing you would do because there's no one thing you would do. But in the instances where I'll tell the guy, hey, like a misdemeanor or something, it's not that big of a deal. We don't even need to interrogate them for a misdemeanor, but I want to just do it for poops and giggles, right? For the Google algorithm. For poops and giggles, I want to just bring them in and interrogate them. I'll tell them, hey, listen, I want to talk to you for a minute. I'm bringing you into the room. Let's talk, all right? Let's have a conversation. When we sit them down, I'll say, hey, listen, buddy, I'm going to have to read you your rights before we talk about what's going on. Most of them are like, I want to know what's going on. I want to talk about this, what's going on. Like, come on, why am I here? Buddy, relax. I know you're nervous. I know you're upset. I know you're lost. You don't know why you're here, whatever. I get it, right? But before we talk, we got to get some prerequisites out the way. I got to do what my department's policy tells me to do. I got to ask you questions I already have answers to, but I still got to ask you those questions, okay? And then I ask them for their name and their address, and I already have the answer for those things. But I want to see how receptive this person is to answer questions, right? Are they getting frustrated with me because I'm asking them these mundane questions? You can ask those questions pre-Miranda. I can ask you what your date of birth is, what your address is, what your phone number. I can ask you these things. I just can't ask you accusatory things that might link you to the crime directly. Like, well, where were you yesterday? That is an accusatory question. That requires Miranda. And then I'll tell them, listen, you know, I'm going to read you your rights. If you choose, you know, to get an attorney, then I won't be able to speak to you. I just want to let you know, so you have to make the choice, right? And then they say, well, I can't. Well, listen, if you decide to talk to me, anytime you want to talk to me, you want to change your mind and say you want an attorney, you could do that. But if you decide you want an attorney, I'm just not going to talk to you. And it's the way it is, right? And you have to be careful how you say that too, because you don't want to coerce the person either way. But to get back on this topic, I'm sorry I went on a tangent. I'm just trying to teach you guys the law and how these type of interviews work. He can talk to Stephen Stearns about anything under the sun without his attorney, as long as it doesn't involve the case. And he can listen to Stephen Stearns talk about the case, as long as he's not trying to elicit that it's information. But you can do certain things, like if Stephen Stern starts saying, man, I'm so pissed off, they arrested me for this. You can say, really? I'm not asking you any question. I'm just saying, like, really? Wow, man. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. You can say things like that keep the conversation going, but you can't start asking him questions that elicit more information when he has an attorney. So let's keep going. Let's see where this goes.
I just got the regular Hall's cherry. It's what I find at 7-Eleven, so.
I've never been one for cherry colored products.
Really?
It just tastes too medicinal.
I can't get my kid to drink medicine. I gotta like mix it in his orange juice. For real, I gotta like literally like, here, drink orange juice because it's good for you. It's vitamin C, and you know, because he'll literally like not drink his medicine.
Yo, you know, I got mad respect for this cop, but wow, yeah, it takes some balls to talk about your kid not drinking medicine in the presence of a child rapist. He's probably like licking his lips off of the sound of this guy's kid. Like, well, your child? How old is your child? Does she look like Maddie? Like, this guy is disgusting. But I'm just joking around, but this officer's doing an amazing job. Let's keep going. And please, 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 please hit that like button, support the channel. Let's keep going.
Medicine, like at all.
I don't know if this officer is going to say anything more. Once again, I have not seen this part of the video, and he saw the first like 10 seconds of him getting in the car, and now so all this is new to me. But I would start asking the guy, and once again, you know, we got almost 18 years of investigative experience. It's predominantly dealing with the sexual assault section of New York State Penal Code, which is the 130 section. That's it. Nothing else. All right. You know, when I was a patrol officer, of course, I dealt with everything, but that was just a small part of my career. All right. I had to go through that to get back into investigations when I changed agencies. You can't just come into an agency and then go be a detective. You can't do that. You have to start from the bottom. So I was a sex crimes investigator for most of my life in state corrections, and then I left and went to be a police officer. Then I'm a beat cop, and I'm working, you know, gun units and all that stuff, and community policing and all that stuff. And then I made my way back to sex crimes investigations again because of my qualifications and my experience in previous jobs that I've held in government. So with all that experience, I'll start getting cerebral with this guy at this point. And I'm not critiquing this officer. I'm not critiquing Cabrera. He's doing an amazing job. Cabrera, if you're watching this, God bless you. You did a great job so far. Whether you get any probative information or not, you did a really good job at least getting the guy to talk and giving him an environment where he could conceivably think about making a spontaneous utterance, even if he didn't, right? But what I'd start doing is I start asking him stuff like, hey, listen, man, I know the whole world is on your shoulders right now. I know everybody looks at you as the bad guy, but I'm one of those weird guys that, you know, for me, everybody's innocent till proven guilty. Just want to let you know, I'm not judging you in any way. Oh, and you know, are you okay, bro? I just want to make sure you're all right, man. From human to human, are you okay? And that might sound corny to some of you guys, but this guy is on an island all by himself, Stephen Stearns. Right now, he's on an island all by himself. Right now, the whole world is crushing in on him. And he's second guessing everything he ever did in his life. He's asking himself, was it worth it, the things that he's done to find himself in this position? He understands and is starting to soak in the gravity of what the rest of his life is going to look like, and the prospect that he might literally have an expiration date unlike any other human on the planet who's not sick. And even somebody who is sick, They know they may die depending on what they're sick with, but they won't know the actual date. He's one of the few people on this planet who will know eventually their expiration date, because the government is going to tell them on this date and time and second and minute, we're going to kill you. That's a lot of stress to be under. And if you come out of nowhere, out of left field, and you say, how are you doing? Even though you don't give a damn how he feels, because he's a dirty baby rapist, I guarantee you that's going to blow this man out the box. That's going to knock his socks off. That's going to make him more amenable to talk to you. That's going to tear down those walls that he's building to protect himself, to protect his self-interest, to try and fight the system. He wants to talk. Human beings want to talk. It's an innate desire for us to talk and share. It's that wall that's stopping him from talking. You got to break down those walls. That's how you get people to talk. Let's keep going. All right, so Lisa Michelle, says, if he's lying about sleeping on concrete floor, can that be used against him in court? Not really, not at all. Nobody's even going to really care to kind of broach that. Number one, his credibility is already shot, so they don't need to determine if he has good credibility, because they found, I think they're calling it CSAM now on YouTube. I don't know. We don't call that in the business. We call it the old name, but I guess people are calling it CSAM. I'll call it CSAM too, whatever. They found CSAM on his phone. His credibility's down the toilet. I don't see where burying that would have in court, but you would have to prove that he wasn't sleeping on a concrete floor. You'd have to have had somebody inspect the cell to prove that there was a mat there. And to what? To what purpose? To what avail? Yeah, it doesn't even lend any credibility it doesn't lend any credence as to whether he's credible in other aspects of the court, because you could lie about one thing and be truthful about another. Credibility is important to the courts, but also understand that people get convicted off of less than credible people. If you look at criminal cases, look at the YSL case right now with Young Thug, the star witness, Woody, is a convicted murderer and liar. But yet he's the star witness that they're trying to use to convict Young Thug. If you look at the Trump trial, not about politics, not here to discuss politics, but I'm just saying it's a fact that the star witness, who was Trump's former attorney, is a liar and a thief. He was convicted of stealing, and he also admitted to embezzling money from Trump. And Trump was still convicted off of the testimony of somebody who's less than credible. So credibility is important in court, but it's not the end-all be-all. District attorneys and defense attorneys can weave their way around credibility and make somebody less than credible still credible in the eyes of the court, and vice versa. So let's keep going. And you listen, it doesn't appear that they're talking right now. I don't know how long that's going to last. So we're skipping forward. It's not that bad. It's 38 minutes. We're at 20 minutes. So we'll keep skipping forward. But I just want to say this. You also can't talk too much, right? because then the person will feel like, well, you're fishing, right? So I think his conversation so far seemed natural to me, seemed believable. So the fact that he's silent now, because he did test the waters, he wanted to see if Stefan was willing to talk. And Stefan spoke a little bit, but he's still very guarded. You don't want to push it because we don't know how many times this particular officer is going to be transporting Stefan Stearns back and forth to the county jail and court. This rapport does not have to yield the results on the first try, all right? You start building it slowly, and so maybe they don't talk that much this time, but maybe next time Stefan is much more comfortable with this officer and he's willing to talk more. So let's keep that in mind, right? You can't bake a cake, you know, in 2 minutes. Sometimes you got to take your time and you got to wait and you got to make sure that it's done right. So
too tight, are they? You're welcome.
I don't know what he said. We're gonna have to go back. It's really hard to hear. I think he said something about "I'm so sorry" or something. I want to go back and listen to that. But Aki, my OG moderator, she made a really good point. And I really want you guys to take heed to this inside of this video. We got 20 people who have not hit the like button. I hope I did not offend you in any way. I'm just trying to give you an expert breakdown of this from my experience from almost 20 years in law enforcement. All I'm asking is not for you to send me money, not for you to become a member of the show. You could do those things if you want. It'd help the show. But all I'm asking is that you hit the like button so we can help out with the algorithm so that my show can grow and more people can be exposed to my point of view. That's all I'm asking for. And I'm here on July 4th talking to you. Can you just show that love and just hit that like button? Really would appreciate it. Hope it's not too much to ask for. Let's keep going. Let's bring it back a little bit and see if we could get what Stefan Stearns said.
They're not too tight, are they? You're welcome.
So it's like, is the window open or something? Because it's so loud inside of this patrol vehicle. It's almost as though the window is open, and that would definitely, you know, not be something smart, especially if you're trying to capture somebody on audio. But I want to bring it out one more time and see if we can make out what he said.
They're not too tight, are they? You're welcome.
I'm sorry, I can't make it out. Big shout out to Panda Place. Showing love from Cape Town, South Africa. We're international again. We got an international audience. Really appreciate you for showing love. Big shout out once again to Lisa Michelle for being a new member of the Strategic Eyes Show and the $10 super chat that she sent. You are appreciated. I love people who support the channel. We got a lot of Strategic Eyes members in the crowd right now. M. Kathy in the building. Love you, M. Kathy. Thank you for showing love. But yeah, love my international audience. Sorry guys, I could not make out what he said. If you could, definitely chime in the comment section. JC says thank you for your service. Thank you, JC, for supporting the channel and watching. Let's keep going. He's just intently looking out the window. This guy's definitely going through it. I want you guys to understand that he's a sociopath and he's a narcissist, but he's still human. This guy is stressed out. Big shout out to what we got going on. Sonia Deanne Salez, appreciate you. New Mexico in the house. Said that you came from, you saw me on Jay's show. Thank you so much. Guilty of Crime is Jay's show. Please put Guilty of Crime's link in the comment section, Aki. Please go subscribe to Guilty of Crime. Much love to her. We're going to be doing another collaboration soon after the holidays, sometime next week. I'm be on vacation again next week. I took vacations back to back. Went on vacation like a week and a half ago, and now I'm going on vacation again. I did that on purpose so I can enjoy the peak of the summertime, right? So we will be doing more shows next week when I'm on vacation. So actually, shoot, my vacation is next week. I didn't even put my paperwork in and all that good stuff, whatever. Anyway, bottom line is, next week's a vacation. You get more shows. Put Guilty of Crime inside of the chat. Amazing YouTube presenter, amazing true crime presenter. Show love to her. Big shout out to Leah, who's from France. France is in the house. Once again, as I told you, we are international. We are global. And I love my international audience. You guys are awesome. Let's keep going. All right, so I brought it back because he's about to start talking. Let's see if we can make out what they're saying.
You feel your body get back to a normal temperature?
Yeah, this guy's such a little, I'm sorry, See, this is the stuff that got me banned from YouTube in the first place. Like, I don't do salacious things. I'm not on here doing the Strategic Eyes OnlyFans. I just say stuff like, this guy's such a little bitch. I'm sorry, I said it, YouTube. Come punish me. Do what you got to do. I don't care. His body temperature is low. If your body temperature is low, you'd be in a goddamn hospital, okay? To where this officer who's clearly playing the game, kudos to this officer. Is your body temperature up to normal? And you know what? Stephen Stearns feeds into that because that's part of his psychosis. That's part of his issue. Oh, my body, I had to sleep on a concrete floor and my body temperature is low. Woe is me. Forget about the fact that you violated a child for years. For years. Forget about that. Forget about the fact that you decided to kill that child. You robbed her of her innocence. You robbed her of her childhood. And then you robbed her of a life. Like, you're the worst of the worst when it comes to child predators. Because the majority of child predators at least allow the person to live and see another day. At least we as a society have an opportunity to give that person counseling, to give that person help and support, and allow them to at least have a chance at a normal life. You robbed her of her innocence. You robbed her of her youth. You robbed her of her childhood. And then you robbed her of her goddamn life. And we're supposed to care about your body temperature when our goal, Stefan, is clearly to rob you of all of your body temperature and one day make you room temperature, Stephen Stearns. This guy is sick and diabolical. But let me calm down before YouTube gods come and punish me again. I'm a new strategic. This is not the Strategic Eyes show anymore. This is true crime with Strategic. I'm going to behave myself. I'm going to be good. Let's keep going.
Yes, sir. What kind of music you like? You like classical music?
Sometimes.
I love classical, and so now I don't want to listen to classical anymore. I'm a classical connoisseur, but this piece of crap human being does not deserve classical, okay? Now, big shout out to David, longtime support of the show. moderator for the live show. I love David. David has a special place in my heart. David, the show is growing. Stick around. When I'm a generous person. When our show gets big, because we're gonna get big, I'm gonna employ something that I saw on Grizzly True Crime, and this is a promise to all my moderators, right? Especially my oldies and my goldies who've been around for a while, who've been supporting me. When we get big enough and we're bringing in revenue, because it is a business at the end of the day. I know people don't like talking about it, but it is what it is. I want to have a place for moderators to get tipped, because moderators work hard, and I want to make sure that those moderators get tipped and they can get, compensated and get a little something and eat. And I appreciate that. And I love you, David. I love you, Aki, and all my other moderators who've been with me since day one. And stick with the show, because I will not forget about you. I love you guys. All right. Big shout out to MM Clear with the $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. I love the little graphic. You are amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for caring about victims, because that's why I do this. I do this for the victims. I love the victims. I cherish the victims. I've dedicated my life to serving the victims. Let's keep going.
Huh. You're the first person that's ever said classical music. Yeah. Classical. Like what? Like give me like a classical song or You're the first one.
I think he said something. First of all, great job on Officer Cabrera. Once again, kind of like getting them to talk. And I think he said something about Beethoven or something like that. I mean, listen, Beethoven is amazing, but if you're a classical connoisseur, you love Beethoven, you're going to listen to Beethoven, but Beethoven is just the tip of the iceberg, man. There's so many other composers. For anybody who's interested in classical, why don't you start out with some Claudio Monteverdi, Vespers of 1610. It will change your life. I guarantee it. Vespers 1610, Claudio Monteverdi. Let's keep going.
I've never had anyone tell me classical music, and I actually like classical music. I do. I've never been to like an orchestra or like a concert like that. I've never been to one.
I think I went to one field trip once. It's amazing. Something about having classical music going in the background, reading the study, it's just peaceful. Also, it can be very emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear ish. Like, this is horrible audio quality. Do not blame the Strategic Eyes show. This is what we have to work with. This is what Plunder has to work with. This is what the docket had to work with. I think he has a window open, and that's what's causing all of this noise. But I do commend this officer for doing a great job getting Stephen Stearns to talk. Let's keep going.
You're actually right, because let's take it's not a newer song, but let's say November Rain, right, by Guns N' Roses. What Slash does with the guitar towards the end of that whole track, he literally makes that guitar cry. Like, it's one of those moments where you're like, wow.
Slash is amazing. Like a lot of classic rock too.
I like Metallica. Metallica's my all-time favorite.
Metallica has been an OG for a long time. Queen's a big one for me too.
Queen is, yeah. I haven't seen that latest movie with like the guy that was on the sitcom. I haven't seen the Queen movie yet.
It's actually it's a great job.
I even like Linkin Park.
He's big in Linkin Park.
So my daughter just told me that her grandmother made lemon cake. She makes the most amazing lemon cake. It's so delicious. And so I did threaten her. I'm not going to lie. I told her that if she does not make me my own personal lemon cake, that I will not allow her to see her grandchildren ever again. Guess what? I got my lemon cake in 3 days. The power of threats, ladies and gentlemen. Let's keep going.
It's such a shame you haven't had a chance to.
Well, he followed on the same lines as this guy from Soundgarden. I forgot his name. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And then when he went over to Audio Slave, you ever heard Audio Slave? I mean, Audio Slave came out with like one album and they just crushed it. Crushed it.
It's good. It's good. Keep it going. Keep it going. Sorry about that. Keep it going. Keep the conversation going. Like, this is authentic. He's not going to look at this type of conversation and say, oh, this guy is just trying to get me talking, because they kind of flowed into it really well. Once again, Officer Cabrera is doing a really good job, but you got to keep it going. Keep it flowing. Keep it flowing.
But classical music, wow.
Good. Good stuff.
Sometimes have trouble remembering the names of the tracks, but
You know what, Rominator made a really good point. I hope I said your name correctly, Rominator. I think I agree with you, Rominator. I think I agree with you. And please hit that like button, guys. While we're at it, hit the like button. Rominator said, I don't think he really likes classical music. I think he just wanted to sound deep, smart, and misunderstood, unrelatable. Maybe, or we could just sum up all of those things, even though some of those things doesn't fit the definition. We'll just sum all that up and say he wanted to sound sophisticated. I think he wanted to sound sophisticated. You know, I don't know about the misunderstood and unrelatable. You could be right. I'm not saying you're wrong. This guy definitely is weird, and he might actually think that way. But I think I 100% agree with you in that this guy wanted to sound sophisticated. He wanted to sound above the average, because that's the type of guy he is. Because remember, Stephen Stern thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Don't ever forget that. Stephen Stearns is the smartest guy in the room, according to his psychosis, to his personality flaw, right? To his narcissism. So I listen to classical, even though he probably just listens to Guns N' Roses, which is nothing wrong with that. Some will call that classics too, certain type of classics. But I agree. I don't think he listens to, I don't think he's a real connoisseur, because guess what? When they asked him, when this officer asked him, well, give me an example of classical you listen, he said Beethoven. Well, nobody who's a classical connoisseur would say Beethoven. It's not that Beethoven is not one of the greatest, because he is. But there's so much to classical that once you actually get into it, you understand that people like Bach and Beethoven and Mozart are pillars of classical. But there's so much to build above it, and there's even so much to build below to shore up that foundation with people who influence Beethoven, Bach, and Mozart. So you would never name Beethoven if you were a true classical connoisseur. Let's keep going.
You know, the one type of music I never got into was country. I just can't relate to it. I grew up in the city, so not much that I can relate to driving a tractor and stuff like that on some of the songs that I've heard. You grew up on a farm?
Yeah.
Wow.
Acreage in Georgia. dozen stones every day. He's a 10, 11-year-old kid. Once pushed a wheel, we had this dumpster with a ramp that we pushed the wheelbarrow's full horsepower pump into. Until we pushed it and the wheelbarrow tipped over and took me right with it into the dumpster full of horsepower. Luckily, it's just mostly grass and oats, so it's not.
But it stinks. Why did you work there? Was it like your family's farm?
Yeah, it was my family.
And he went through that easy pass lane super fast. So I guess right now Stefan is talking about like working on a farm or something. I think he may have fell in poop or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, good stuff. Keep him talking.
So you're from Georgia?
I've been all over. I was born in Illinois. Lived in Georgia, Florida, and California all the time. In rotation for most of my life.
Hello. Estamos, sí, está todo bien. Estamos como a 2 o 3 minutos. Estamos en la 192, casi doblando en la Simpson. Bye. See, I was born in Puerto Rico and then I was raised in Boston. So, hey, it was. I mean, I didn't grow up in Puerto Rico because I
Police officer is not Mexican. He's Puerto Rican. Yeah, they have dark-skinned Puerto Ricans. They have Puerto Ricans of all shades, but he's definitely not Mexican.
My mom left there when I was 2. And I grew up more in Cambridge and like Boston area. So that was like a big city, you know, projects and that's
Interesting locals there.
it's definitely different. Definitely different.
You could definitely see in this officer's eyes, like he doesn't really even want to have this conversation, and I get it. You see in his eyes, it's like, I'm doing this for a purpose, and God bless him for doing this. If anybody's just popping in now and they don't understand what's happening, I don't care what any other YouTuber has told you. Much respect to them and their point of views. I'm not trying to hurt anybody or talk shit about anybody. I'm telling you what happened because I'm a pro and we do this every day. He was told to talk to Stefan and to try and get that information. Try and get some information. Trying to get, you know, some type of spontaneous or excited utterance out of this guy, right? So he doesn't really want to talk to Stefan Stern. He doesn't want to have a conversation with a rapist and a murderer. He's doing this, he's building this rapport so that he can help the prosecution of this monster. So you look in his eyes, and this cop's eyes look a little dead. They look dead because he's doing something he really doesn't want to do, but he's doing it because he has to, because he wants to help this prosecution against this beast. So let's keep going.
and then I moved down here. So
Lived in Georgia, Southern California, Florida. Southern California was nice.
San Diego area.
A little further north than that, towards the Middle Beach. So more like Newport.
California is nice. I've been there twice. I've been there twice.
Nice to visit. Weather's always really nice. At least when I lived there, the locals are really nice too. Easy to make friends, easy to meet people. Beaches are just amazing. Blue Pacific water, cold as cold can be.
Oh, yeah. There's no warmth to that water at all.
Swim for about 30 minutes until your muscles start to seize up.
So once we get here, I gotta go into the interview room and I gotta do the arrest affidavit. Basically, you have two warrants, so I'll let you know what those are.
All right, so it looks like they're about to arrive. The video, I think, what do we got, like less than 3 minutes? maybe around 3 minutes to be exact at this point until the video is over. So let's see how it plays out. All right, so you see the cameras over here in the mirror, I mean the window over here on the passenger side. Interesting stuff. People are waiting. This is a big case, man. Big case. MM, thanks again for the super sticker. I did shout you out. I guess you didn't hear me. MM Claire, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you so much. Aki just hit me up, said, hey, shout her out. I don't think she heard you. Thank you so much. I 100% did shout you out, though. I want to let you guys know I'm very grateful for all the support that you give me, and I never miss a beat. I always make sure that I show you guys love who show the channel love, and I show everybody love. You know, you don't got to send me a sticker or you don't got to send me money for me to show you love. It does help the channel, and we do appreciate you, but we're all a family here. Not everybody has the means to donate to a YouTube channel, and I get that, and I understand it, and we're here as a family, and you know, it is what it is. I'll be here one way or another, but for the people who are able to support the channel, I do appreciate you, and I really do try my best to make sure that you guys know that you're loved and you are appreciated. So let's keep going. All right, real quick. I know we're getting towards the end, but I don't even know what this is, but it's a ZAR. So Panda Play sent 300 ZAR. That's South African money, I would presume, right? So 300 ZAR. Wish I could send more. Sadly, the South African rand or ZAR is so weak against the dollar. Gets super expensive. Stay amazing. Glad I found your channel and can't wait to watch it grow. Thank you so much. And listen, let's just say this right now, and let's never have to talk about this again on the Strategic Eyes Show. So when new people come in, spread the word to them. There's no such thing as I wish I could send more. What if somebody super chats me, super stickers me, whatever, I am grateful for whatever you have taken the time out of your life to send me. That's it. Nobody has to send me anything. So if you send me something, I am grateful for it and I appreciate it, and you are appreciated. And, you know, Leah said that they did the math, and that's about $17. That's a lot of money for YouTube. God damn. You know, what more would you want to send? You know, I'm 100% grateful. So please, guys, I am grateful, and I'm appreciative of whatever people can give and whatever love, and whether that amount is $0 or $1. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Just coming here and enjoying the show is enough, and we do appreciate you, and you guys are amazing. So thank you, Panda Place. Thank you for showing love. I hope the weather's beautiful out there in the motherland. One day, by the grace of God, I'll be able to go back to the cradle of civilization and see it with my own eyes. And you know what? I think it has more to do with me than God, because God has blessed me. And, you know, I guess if I tried hard enough, I know I'll be able to find my way over there, right? So let's just hope that God will give me the time, because that's really what it is in life. Do you have the time to do the things that you want to do? So I'm going to ask God. I'm not going to be greedy, because God has given me the means and God has blessed me that I can work hard enough to get anything that I want. So what I will ask from God is not monetary, but ask for something that he actually can help me with, that he hasn't given me already to control myself, and that's time. So I asked God, can you please give me the time one day that I'm able to go back to the motherland, to the cradle of civilization, and see it with my own eyes, and go to Africa and maybe get some Starbucks with Panda. All right, let's keep going. All right, so here he goes. He's getting this nasty man out. That nasty man. We got to get so close to these nasty men. Get all close to them when we're putting the seatbelts on and we're taking it off, and we got to hold them when we walk with them. Look at him. Look at his eyes. Look at how he's looking around. Oh, The cameras are here. Let me put my sad face on. Oh my God. Let me make sure my body temperature is high. Oh, no, no. Look at the... I don't even know what just happened. Like, did he just stop for a computer? I don't know. And I want you guys to notice how his face changed. Don't get me wrong, he had the sad face for most of the ride, but when he saw the cameras, he put the extra sulky face on because he wants to be viewed as a victim. I'm innocent. Oh God, I'm so innocent. I'm just zonked out on Xanax. I'm innocent. He wants to put that face on, that mask of being a victim. And, you know, how could somebody who looks like me ever hurt anybody? How could you think that I could hurt somebody? Look how I look. I look so sad and pathetic. Come on, guys. Work with me here. That's the type of face he has on. Big shout out to Kia Wolf from Poland. I've told you, we're international, people. We're the UN here. We're going to solve world peace on this channel. All right, we're literally going to solve world peace on this channel. We're international. Let's keep going.
Cabrera, ID 1327 with Osceola with 11015.
Go again, I can't hear you.
Cabrera, ID 1327 with 11015.
1327 Cabrera, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I know one they said that's so slow. Maybe it was the one they have to say. You said 11015.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Forget to keep your weapon.
Yes, ma'am.
So they basically let him into the county jail right now. Let's. You gotta take care of that cough, Cabrera. All right, that's the end of that. Listen, let me bring it back to me. Bring it back to me. All right, what's the verdict? I think Cabrera did an amazing job. I think Cabrera did a good job. He should be proud of himself. Did he get anything probative? No, he did not. But what he did get was the beginning of rapport. The beginning of rapport. If I was the sheriff, if at all possible, I would schedule Cabrera to be his transport officer. So whenever he's going back and forth, I would try and get Cabrera to be the one to transport him back and forth. Sometimes that's not feasible. It is what it is. Cabrera might be a patrol officer. He may not be a transport officer for the county jail. So if he's a patrol officer, it's probably not feasible that he's able to do it because he's out there doing patrol. It is what it is. But this is a high-profile case. This is probably the most high-profile case in that county right now. I think it would be a good idea and a good expenditure of manpower to keep Cabrera working with Stephen Stern in the hopes that Stearns might make some spontaneous utterances that could be used against him in court. But at the end of the day, people, the man does not need to say anything because we got him dead to rights. He did himself in by recording himself abusing this child since she was 8 years old. There's no fighting it. There's no refuting it. He's going to probably go to trial to extend his life. The DA is not going to take any compromises. There's no victim that the DA needs to worry about putting on the stand in a lot of CSAM cases where you're worried about re-traumatizing the child by putting the child on the stand. Can I get 80 likes, guys, please? We're at 78 likes. Just give me 80 and I'll be happy, all right? 80 likes, please. But it's not a situation where we have to worry about the mental health of the child because he killed the child. So you don't have to worry about the mental health of the child, of whether the child is going to be tortured on the stand by the defense attorney, etc. Child is gone. So there's no deals to be made. So this is a death penalty case through and through, and he's screwed. So it is what it is. I said I wanted 80 likes, and somebody took their like away. I'm sorry I disrespected you that you took your like away. All right. Real quick, we'll go to the comment section, and then we will get out of here. Okay. Sonia Deanne Saleh says, exactly. It's all the show he is. Definitely not that right in the head. Cairo says, well, Cairo's talking to somebody else. I'm not going to read that because we won't get no context. Hey, what's up, buddy boy? Son is here. Tom Honecker says, hope he likes stale bologna sandwiches. Say hi to everybody, buddy. Erica B says, lock him up. Leah says, one of the persons renting a room at Jen's home, don't touch, nope, don't do that, said, had her 15-year-old boy living there too. Did he become friends with Maddie? That's a good question. We're going to have to look into that. Yeah, we're going to have to look into that. Not sure, but that is a good question. Aki says she wonders if if Stearns was watching a 15-year-old boy. Yeah, maybe. We don't really know. Got you, Aki. Aki's like buzzing my phone. I got you. What else we got going on? Tom Honecker said he's a coward. He'll plead out. Hopefully they won't offer him anything. I hope they don't offer him a plea deal either. CS says shared home, but Jen needs to be charged. Kia Wolf says he's a sick man. Nick546 says, thank you for all you do. I appreciate you. Thank you for taking the time to watch the show, Nick546. Trisha818 says, oh, hi, buddy. Nick546 says, happy 4th of July, America. Absolutely. All right, so let's wrap it up, guys, because I got to get ready to go do my thing. Guys, happy 4th of July. You guys know I'm a big patriot. I love our country. This is the best country on the planet. I know we got an international audience. I hope that you would think your country is the best country on the planet, because you should be a patriot for your country. And if you can't take it upon yourself to say, if you're an international audience, that your country is the best country on the planet, that means your country needs work, and you need to get out there and help your country be better. I believe that the United States of America is the best country on the planet. I love my country. I'm a patriot. I love the military. I love the service. I love serving my country in my own way. And I appreciate everybody, and I hope you take this time to spend time with your friends and family. Take this time to enjoy conversation. Throw back a couple of beers or something. You know, eat some beef, eat some burgers, eat some sausages, whatever it may be. Have a good time. I will have to work, but I'm okay with that. So, guys, once again, big shout out to everybody who sent a super chat. Big shout out to everybody who became a member. Lisa's now a member. We appreciate you. Lisa Michelle, thank you for being a new member of Strategic Eyes Show. Remember, we do have a membership program, so if you want exclusive content, please consider joining the membership program. And also, we do have merchandise. Yes, we have merchandise, so consider copping a sweater, copping a t-shirt, copping a mug. It all supports the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It costs a lot of money to put on these shows. I got to pay for a lot of things just to be able to sit here and talk to you. And so it's nice to be able to recoup those costs. So anyway, guys, you guys are amazing. I see you guys on the next one. Remember, the next show that we're going to do will be part 2 of going over the interview that Stephen Stearns did with the detectives. And that's a very important interview, and it's very unique compared to the interviews that he did with uniformed police officers when they were trying to get information and find this young girl, right? So we're going to finish that off the next time we do a show. Happy holidays. I'll see you on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.